100 games, 10 games a day. Indie of the Year 2013 Top 100 sponsored by Desura on IndieDB. Vote for your favorites at IndieDB.com.
Survivor Forgotten World is developed by Orcon and currently has no release date. It's summer 1980, the Cold War is coming to an end and the world just seems right. Someone told you to take the week off. You deserve it. Well, why not? The last and only thing that you remember is the sound of bursting metal from the plane you were on, and while losing all of your memory, your will to survive remains. Relearn things you once knew, start from scrap, in a new and hostile world. Hunt and gather, craft equipment, build yourself a camp, flee, relocate, and defend yourself against the tribesmen who claim the Forgotten Lands to be theirs. Outlive the animals on whose hunting ground you strive and build a fortified home for yourself. Cure your wounds and try to be better prepared for the next night. Discover the long-forgotten lands and find out what makes the tribe shudder in fear. No one can tell what the next day will bring, nor how many you have left.
Cry of Fear is by Team Scala. It is a fully released mod of the Half-Life 1 game engine. You wake up in a dark alley, not knowing anything. What has happened anyway? You struggle after the truth and answers. Answers you want to know in the darkness and fear, which makes your heartbeat race like violent blows against your head. Where do they come from? What has happened? Are you turning insane? You would be insane not to give Cry of Fear a good shot. The IndieDB community has given Cry of Fear a 9.4 on their rating scale. The character design and the in-depth storyline that goes along with Cry of Fear will keep you guessing until the very end.
Forced is a 1-to-4 player co-op arcade action RPG hack and slash with a puzzle and tactical elements. You are cast as slaves in the toughest fantasy gladiator school of them all, condemned to fight to death, all the while attempting to win your freedom. The game is made by Beta Dwarf Entertainment and is available through Steam. The game has been given a 9 out of 10 by the IndieDB community. This game has so much going for it. I love the look of the game, the use of the colours in different zones, the feel of the combat, as well as the storyline behind the game mean that this game is really exciting and a joy to play. Also, personally, as a massive fan of the idea of being a gladiator, this game appeals to the little tiny angry Roman dwelling inside of me, looking for glory and honour at the tip of a blade.
Into the Dark, created by Homegrown Games and HRMC label. You're Peter Pete O'Brennan, a private eye. Sounds fascinating, doesn't it? It isn't, trust me. Unless you find it exciting to hunt down cheating husbands and lost dogs while living for cheap Chinese food in a shabby motel. That would be what Peter's job is all about. But luckily for him, he has a good customer paying his bills. It's Global Secure Inc., one of the biggest insurance companies on the East Coast. More exactly, it's Samantha Sam Miller who runs their investigation department on insurance fraud. She's tough, she's intelligent, she's better than Pete. Better by far. But due to the company's code of conduct and some very nasty ethic rules, she's prevented from taking the semi-legal steps to gain essential information and proof. That's where Pete steps in. For $500 a day, plus expenses, and a nice 20% share of the money the company saves with whatever Pete finds out, he has a nice, cushy job. Or does he? Into the Dark got a 7 out of 10 voted by the IndieDB community. Into the Dark is a playable B-movie, a trash experience composed out of 60% humor, 30% horror, and 10% technical flaws. Enjoy!
Lumen is a single-player fantasy platformer game developed by Thousand Cranes. In Lumen, you are a small girl in a nightmare-filled world, and you have to use your camera to maneuver through obstacles and defeat monsters. Use your camera to make light of hidden platforms, and by taking pictures of an object and shaking or moving the picture to manipulate said object. This is an amazingly beautiful game with wonderful graphics and easy controls. Lumen was released on October 28, 2013, and has received an 8.8 out of 10 on IndieDB. The full game is free to download and is available only on Windows. If you enjoy a frightfully intriguing good time, then Lumen is a must-get for your gaming collection.
Mount & Blade Bannerlord is currently being developed by Tale Worlds and has no release date set as of yet. The once mighty Calderic Empire is in a state of decline. Warlike tribes have seized swaths of its territory, and client kingdoms have declared their independence. The Emperor has died without leaving an heir, leaving 3 jealous factions to scramble for power. Mercenary companies, bandit lords, and nomads hover on the sidelines like vultures waiting for a meal. A hero who can master the art of single combat, of leading armies in battle, and of plotting ambushes and raids, and of exploiting the rivalry between noble houses and tribal clans, may be able to unite this empire, or, alternatively, to deal it the final blow that sends it crashing down. Will the Caldari experience one final sunset of imperial glory, or slip into the night of chaos before a new age dawns? My impressions of Mount & Blade Bannerlord are that it will be an awesome game. The first game, Mount & Blade Warband, and all of the other Mount & Blade games have been mind-blowingly awesome for what they actually are. A very, very early gen game based off of mounted combat and single blade combat, and I just really hope that we see exactly what we saw from Warband with updated graphics, better gameplay, and everything. Go and check it out. It's one of the better games that I've seen so far.
Murder in the Hotel Lisbon is a video game inspired by the classic point-and-click adventures from the 80s and 90s. It adopts these eras' characteristically design, and it is built using only the pixel art technique. A strange murder has occurred in the Hotel Lisbon. The case has so many complex and contradictory facts that the only team available to solve it is the mythical Detective Case and the unmistakable Clown Bot. Together they will solve a network of relations so complex and intricate that it would take at least a mass of clairvoyants, apocalyptic sect prophets, and a few of those gypsies that can read palms just to guess the final outcome. Murder in the Hotel Lisbon was developed and published by Nerd Monkeys and was released on December 4th, 2013. The game has received an 8.6 out of 10 on IndieDB. It is available to play for a small purchase of $9.99. It is available to play on Windows, Mac, and Linux.
Overgrowth is a game developed by Wolffire Games. It is in the early development stages in the pre-alpha form of its development. Overgrowth is going to be a very wild game where you play the role of anthropomorphic animals in a very lush and very green environment. This game actually snagged the upcoming Indie Game of the Year award on ModDB. So if you're looking for a very primal fighting adventure game, keep your eyes out for Overgrowth.
Path of Exile is a gritty, new action role-playing game from the New Zealand-based studio Grinding Gear Games. Path of Exile combines bone-shattering, monster-slaying action with in-depth character customization. Exiled, abandoned to fate in some god-forsaken land, the path you walk is a razor's edge, where death awaits your first misstep. Enemies claw at you, gnashing their teeth or calling forth dark demonic magics. At least one thing is certain: you will not go quietly, and you will not die alone. Players can pick from 6 playable character classes, which each focus on either 1 or 2 core attributes: strength, dexterity, and intelligence. Active skills are gained in the form of levelable gems, and passive skills are chosen from a huge shared skill tree with over 1,300 nodes. Randomly generated items and world areas guarantee that no journey is the same, and fast-paced PvP action lets you cooperate with, or conquer, players from all over the world. Path of Exile is completely free and will never be pay to win. The IndieDB community rated this game a 9.5.
903M is developed and produced by Space Bungie and is releasing on September 14th, 2013. 903M is a short first-person art empathy game for the PC, created by Space Bungie. The game draws upon the disaster that affected many people in Japan in 2011, the tsunami caused by the Tohoku earthquake. It aims to remember those who have passed away in the tsunami as individuals, as opposed to the numerical data often found in news articles. Based on Baker Beach in San Francisco, you must navigate the beach picking up objects that have been washed ashore in search of butterflies. The company will be giving away half of all received sales revenue to Aid for Japan.